Good afternoon. Welcome to our special council meeting, September 16th at 3 o'clock. First of all, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. Can we have the approval of agenda for this afternoon? Everybody's good with it? Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none, we'll get right into it. Unfinished business. And Resolution 228-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric. The council accept the quotation from Vector Construction Limited in the amount of $23,560 plus applicable taxes to complete repairs at the Cooks Lake Dam. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. And Tammy said they're there already. They set up some scaffolding.
Finally got the right outfit.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resolution 229-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The Council of the Township of Schreiber support resolution number 336-08292022 of the Town of Kingsville with respect to Bill 3 Strong Mayors Building Homes Act 2022. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll move into other business. Treasurer's report. Do you want to talk to that, Nathan, or Marlene, or just pass them?
Marlene?
Sure, so the purpose of the report and the recommendations that are before council right now are necessary for the preparation of the 2021 financial statements. These are your transfers to and from reserves. Most of them are for your major capital projects. These are all transfers that were part of your 2021 budget, so this is formalizing what the year-end values were and what you used and what you didn't use.
Okay.
So will there be more transfers in 2022 then?
Well, that's, the 2022 ones are the next report on the agenda.
Yeah, well that's, and
Yeah,
that's
so-
kind of what our.
Yeah, so and there will, in all likelihood, there will be some that still pertain to 2021, because I am still just finalizing
Oh, okay.
the year-end values. So just to speak to the second report, that are it's the same title, only a different year. Those two are ones that you have in your budget for 2022.
Right.
It's just formalizing the actual move. You've already approved it.
Yeah.
By passing your budget, but it's just formalizing what you've done.
Okay.
Okay, resolution 230-22. Moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $39,771.25 to cover the cost of asset management plan project as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021. Discussion?
I'm just curious as to how much money is in this reserve. Like, well, actually, in each one of these cases, you're transferring money from the reserve, but it's implying that these reserve have certain amounts of money?
Yes. you would have to have money in the reserve to transfer from it.
Right,
And you would, if to transfer to it, you would have raised it during your taxation process
right,
in the
okay.
year. Yeah, you're
All
good.
right. Thank you.
Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 231-22. Moved by Counselor McGrath, seconded by Counselor Stefuric, that council transfer from the fire truck reserve $98,760.07 to cover the cost of the purchase of the 2007 American LaFrance Rescue Pumper as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 231-22, 232-22. Moved by Counselor McGrath, seconded by Counselor Stefuric, that council transfer from the Recreation Building Reserve $30,281.85 to cover the township portion of the fitness room upgrades as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 233-22, moved by Counselor Stefuric, seconded by Counselor McGrath, that council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $23,330 to cover the cost of the wastewater treatment plant building electrical upgrades as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 234-22, moved by Counselor McGrath, seconded by Counselor Stefuric, that council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $79,276.77 to cover the cost of water treatment plant flow meter project as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 235-22, moved by Counselor Stefuric, seconded by Counselor McGrath, that council transfer to the infrastructure reserve $40,000 representing the cost for accessibility door upgrades as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021, but not spent in 2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 236-22, moved by Counselor McGrath, seconded by Counselor Stefuric, that council transfer to the infrastructure reserve $10,000 representing the cost of the dam upgrade project as budgeted in bylaw 30/2021, but not spent in 2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 237-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council transfer to the federal gas tax reserve fund $131,747.71, which represents revenue received in 2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 238-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that council transfer to the fire truck reserve $10,000 as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 239-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, the council transfer to the fire equipment reserve $1,000 as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 240-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, the council transfer to the water and sewer reserve $10,000 as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022 sewer department. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 241-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that council transfer to the water and sewer reserve $25,000 as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022 to the water department. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 242-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, the council transfer from the library donations and fundraising reserve $5,000 as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022 to cover the cost of newspaper digitalization project. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 243-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $8,280.72 as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022 to cover the cost of the community safety and well-being plan. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. We want to talk number 3, Director of Operations report and the boiler replacement.
Just introduce it and let Tammy look and answer any of the fine-tuned questions for this. Over the course of years, we've been looking at a boiler replacement. We knew that the time to replace it would eventually come. It's something that we've been putting on the capital budget. Over time, it has been usually cut out, but in an inspection that we did do in August, it looked like we did have technicians that confirmed that it would be on its last legs. And our concern is that it may not at all be reliable to get us through this upcoming winter. And we don't want to be in the situation where we're going to have no heat potentially for 6 to 8 weeks if it does go down. Don't want to be in a situation where the fumes end up becoming a more frequent issue. So this is why we're bringing this forward now and to your attention. It does piece together a lot of our concerns. Over time, the fumes that were coming in through the just through our HVAC system, it has gone exponentially worse. The frequency of this was concerning. And it was in a number of our health and safety meetings. So it's something we wanted to address. Originally, we were looking at increasing the stack for the intake on this building. But again, when we did have the technicians look at it, the issue is caused with regard to the ignition. Tammy, can you provide some more details on this for council, please?
Yeah, this is an ongoing issue and it's progressively gotten worse to the point of it being a critical situation now. We're already in temperatures that we should have had the boilers turned on at this point. The mornings in this building is very chilly. It's 17, 18 degrees. We tried through Cloud Darling coaching, we tried turning on at least one of the small boiler, hoping that it would reheat the coils for the air, the rooftop units, that would at least give us a little bit of heat in the building. But neither one of the boilers at this point will start. They go off on safety, so you're getting an influx of fuel in the fire pot, and that stays there, and over continued attempts of trying to light it. Cloud Darling has advised that we're getting very close to it being in extreme danger of it exploding. The increase in smoke, either white or black or just raw fumes that are coming out of the chimney, is an indication that it's not burning clean. And we're going to end up with a very severe situation inside the building. If he had a crystal ball, he would probably predict that it's not going to last us the winter time. He's trying to put off starting the boilers because he doesn't think it's going to last the winter as it is. So we're in a very precarious situation at the moment. That boiler is 60 years old and it's been in service way past its prime.
It's an original.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
They've canceled, I've heard they've canceled baseball games because when it was trying to ignite the fumes and all that around the neighborhood.
Yeah, we've had several complaints from the neighbors around this building, and they have canceled 2 baseball games that I'm aware of, that they couldn't stand the diesel fumes that were coming out of this building. So they had to abandon their game and shut things down. So it's really quite prevalent in this neighborhood that it's not burning cleanly or properly.
Yeah, I've had the principal at Holy Angels message me about the black smoke before too.
Well, I've seen I've seen a tape from one of the neighbors, and tape a video.
Mhm.
And white smoke puffing and black smoke and the whole bit. And with the white smoke when it was, that's it trying to ignite and the bowls filling up and, well, I'm no technician or anything, but when it does ignite, it's just not smooth. It's
That's what the technician has said is a very clear indication that the boiler itself is in danger. If it wasn't burning cleanly, you would get the consistent plume of smoke coming out the chimney, but in our case, it's poofing and not consistently being discharged. And so it's backlogging into the system and creating a pressure, and that's what he's very concerned about.
And that's not the only problem with that
Oh.
system.
Not at all.
Yeah, so.
We can't get parts, so even to try and fix it, the parts are not available anymore.
Yeah,
He's really nervous about opening up the boiler. The fire tubes inside will be very brittle. And just working on the system is just asking for a chain link situation of problems that would arise once you start working on it, because it's just too old.
Yeah.
Parts are not available.
So how long, before we can get this changed or?
So there is a 6-week delivery on the propane boiler, and they predict a 3 to 4 week installation period. So we could have the new furnace installed by the end of November. The actual tie-in, they're going to come next week to see if they can get the boiler going to give us some sort of heat in the building in the interim. But when they do the actual tie-in,
Yeah.
we'll be without heat in this building for 2 to 3 days. So we'll probably have to work from home those 3 days. Once they get it up and running, they can fine-tune the system and complete their work after we come back to work, so.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear 3 days will,
Yeah, they'll heat the building, they propose heating the building with no one in it. Heating the building with construction heaters, just to keep it from freezing while they get the heat online.
okay.
Is it even worth trying to start it? Like, are we not, did that not cause more harm to this building than?
Well, I tried to start it this week, and 3 attempts of it resetting, and then it finally locked out. So the technician said that he'll come down again and clean out the fire pot, make sure that it's clean, and we'll start fresh again. He'll be on site to turn it on. But I don't know that we can go with no heat to this building until the end of October.
Yeah, no, I'm not suggesting that, it's just.
He's hoping-
If it's gonna set off carbon monoxide alarms every couple of days and stuff like that, is it even worth it? Like.
Well, he's hoping to put his focus on the small boiler.
Okay.
Get that one going. That'll reheat the coils for the rooftop, and that might be enough heat to hold us until the boiler is replaced.
Okay.
It would never be enough heat in December, January weather.
And then
Yeah, I can't.
Everyone still has their space heaters and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
That's
can't see us.
presenting issues too with the space heaters. We don't
Yeah.
have the electrical capacity, and we're blowing breakers. And of course, that turns into a fire hazard, and
I can't see us hesitating on this anymore, and
No, I'm all.
I see in the report that we're looking at financing it. You want to speak to that at all, Nathan, or?
Yeah, in terms of financing, Merlin was able to bring some of that on in terms of options here. We're looking at, if it was over a 15-year amortization at a 4.36 interest rate, we're looking at annual payments of almost $30,000. 25-year amortization rate at that same interest rate, looking at $21,000, almost $20,000 per year. And there's a substantial difference between the 15 to 25 years. just based on Marlene and I, our discussions, we're looking at,
It's an extra $100,000.
yes, preferably going between 15 to 20 years and not the 25 years.
So that yearly budgeted amount, is that gonna come,
Out of your operating budget.
but is there like, can we use infrastructure reserve money for that? Does this building have a reserve fund?
No. There's no separate, you don't have
So it'd
separate
be under-
reserves for your, so this is for illustrative purposes right now, obviously, because council has to approve the project before we go and we try to get proper rates, right? And again, as Nathan said, I mean, the recommendation would be somewhere between the 15 and 20 year, the lifespan of a new boiler, they're saying is 20 years. So it really doesn't make sense to go any higher than that, right?
That's not a very long time compared to the existing one.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the worst case scenario, you would think 20 years.
I hope so.
That'd be a warranty of 20 years?
I don't know what the warranty is on there.
I am not sure about the warranty. I will find
I
out.
highly doubt it, it's 20
Yeah.
years. You're funny, Dan. But really, your question, you can determine, and after we do finalize the 2021 financial statements, and then have a projection on where you are with your 2022, there may be some room in there. I would caution you not to deplete your reserves that you have. You don't have a lot of reserves, not to deplete them all because of this, because really and truly that rate isn't that bad.
No, I'm just,
Ultimately, and part of the other part is because we don't fund enough, you know, your budget, your
Yeah.
report with the asset management is that we're not putting enough into reserve right now, but at least this way it's showing that you're putting things in there, and it's the whole argument is why pay it now when you've got a minimum of 20 years of people actually benefiting from the asset. So that's that whole strategy in there, so.
no, I get that, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like we do this, that means something else isn't gonna get done, right? Because that money,
It's pulling out of
Yeah,
your operating
yeah.
budget, yeah, you have to come up with that money out of your operating, that's right.
which we,
Yeah.
which is like, we
What percentage of,
nitpick all the time
Nitpick,
anyways, yeah.
what percentage of our operating would this,
I'd say this is probably like based on like when you're talking about a levy increase, is that what you're asking?
well,
I would say it's probably about almost a 1.5%.
1.5%,
Yeah.
so would
Of our
be,
operating, or a levy increase,
Of a
of our
launches now, you
operating.
know, it's the
if everything stayed the same,
afternoon,
and we still funded all our other operating costs,
Yeah, that's it.
plus this, it would cause a levy increase of 1.5%, something like
I
that,
think I might be overestimating.
yeah.
That
I'm
seems
very
really high
conservative. Yeah, it does.
for just
Maybe
$30,000.
it's
Yeah.
0.01. Hold on.
Well, regardless, we gotta get the show on the road.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Well, the other factor is too, and they're saying that oil, that 1963 is 60%.
yeah, yeah, it's more efficient, more efficient.
I think it's south of 60%.
Well, you might see a
Really?
saving in our electricity bill in this building if everyone's not blasting a space heater all the time, right?
Yeah,
Except for maybe Cecile's really cold, but
But
she
the-
can have her space heater.
but the propane is 93% efficiency. I know we say the cost of propane has gone up, but still, we're
It's gonna be
gonna,
a savings, yeah.
it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I'm all for it, I just wanna make sure it's not.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's not something we wanna do, I think it's something we gotta do.
Yeah.
And these numbers, Marlene, they could get better?
Yes.
The amortization costs could be better than this?
Right, because it all depends on what on what the rates are when you go to borrow.
Do you go to a bank or do you go to like that government infrastructure
Well,
fund?
so what we do is we price it out for both. The rates that I have right here are from the Infrastructure Ontario, because
Okay.
both you have to request, and
Yeah.
they answered. I'm still waiting for the bank to answer,
Okay.
but, and again, it's just to have an idea. I will tell you,
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought they were gonna be higher than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised too.
Yeah, and things are coming, like,
Yeah.
who knows, if we have a crystal ball, boy, life would be a lot, I don't know whether it would be easier or worse, but maybe easier, right? But again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that.
So that's a fixed rate?
It would
Numbers?
be a fixed rate.
Okay.
That would definitely be the recommendation because of the period of time,
Yeah.
number one, and number two, because of how we have to budget as a municipality.
Right.
Whereas, you know, a personal
Yeah, variable, whatever, yeah.
rate, yeah.
No, I understand. Okay.
Anybody else got any questions?
I mean, I'm in favor of like the 15-year one then, just because in the long run you're saving the most money. Like it's $50,000 less than 20 years.
So we don't have to,
You don't have to decide on that
Yes.
today,
Oh,
no.
okay.
until
It's just
you,
about to go forward with
until
the
you,
project.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll come back.
Yeah, we wanna see.
I think we're all in favor of going forward with it.
Yeah, I believe, I'm okay with that.
Certainly.
So everybody's okay with
Yeah.
going ahead with it? It's like,
I guess.
okay. What's that?
Can you vote?
No. Be nice, or you freeze. Resolution 245-22, moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Stafuric.
44.
Why did I do that? Resolution 244-22, moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Stafuric. The council accept the quotation from Clo Darling Limited in the amount of $319,000 plus applicable taxes for the supply and installation of a propane boiler for the Schreiber Municipal Complex. Any more discussion?
Okay, I got one more question. Say they come in, it's failed, and then we can't keep a safe working temperature for a month and a half. Do we have like a plan B? Like, is everyone working out of the rec hall, or what happens then?
I want someone to touch the piece of wood in here, because I can't believe that you just
Well,
changed
I
it
mean,
like that.
no, I'm not trying to,
No,
but
in
like
reality, but
realistically,
yes, we have, so we
what's
have-
the plan?
We have
'Cause-
had conversations about what the contingency plan
Yeah.
would be. If we don't have any heat, again, I don't think that there's, people are right now are probably gonna be wearing a lot of fleece. I mean, you can feel it in here right now how cold it is.
I'm comfortable.
Right, you have a jacket
Yeah, I
on
know.
and jeans, right? So, the contingency, of course, is we would have to, at a minimum, from our business perspective, we would have to figure out, you have to have somewhere where the public can come at a
Mhm.
certain, whether it's 5 days a week, or it's 3 days a week, or half a time, or whatever, you have to have that point of contact somewhere, which wouldn't be, because we are, our information electronically is housed in the sky somewhere, right? That is just about taking your laptop, taking the printer,
Yeah.
relocating it. It would likely mean there would be some working from home, but somebody has to be somewhere, though yes, the rec hall was what was identified as a
Yeah.
potential spot to be in there. The other thing is, consideration for your tenants in here. I don't know what kind of communication has been going on, with them. But what I would say, over the pandemic, they did have the ability very easily to work from home. So I'm thinking that's probably a contingent. That's one of the good things that the pandemic has taught us.
Yeah.
Maybe, right, we're supposed to look at the positive of things.
I mean, like the senior center would have to do
You
stuff
could, they could
elsewhere,
change their
yeah.
stuff, like, again, that could be up at the community
Okay.
hall as well. So I don't think it's as dire, but I still would touch the clock.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jinx it or anything,
Yeah.
just as long as there's like
Well, I think the reality too is, they're saying 6 weeks, but we all know that there may be supply chain issues, right? So it's to go, what does that look like? How do we invoke a plan if that happens? you know, what is the plan for that? And we are working on that to make sure that we know A, B, C, and D, because it is a reality.
Yeah.
And we have to be ready.
Okay.
Good.
The good news here is that Co-Darling is a reputable business,
Yes.
and you know they've been in this business for a while, so we are really hoping on their expertise to pull through for us and properly plan this. And just to echo what Marlene was saying, the pandemic did allow us to prepare very quickly and learn how to improvise on the spot. So we've kind of had contingency planning in place now, and we have mobilized with laptops so our work can be carried out. So hopefully it's not anything like a substantial disruption. If there is, we will make plans in order to accommodate our business and to keep it running.
Okay, hearing no more discussion, all those in favor? Carried. Okay, number 4. Resolution 245-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that bylaw 38/2022 being a bylaw to fix the remuneration of exempt staff members of the Township of Schreiber be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. I'll sign after. Resolution 246-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that bylaw 39-2022 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of agreement between the Township of Schreiber and K. Dargaville for the position of Finance and Special Projects Administrator be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. And that's it for the, oh no, September, yeah, put that in black. September meeting schedule.
I think it's just the 27th, as we were discussing before, is not going to be an ideal date for a meeting to be held. So if you can confirm canceling that meeting. And my recommendation is that we move ahead with a special council meeting sometime during that week just to carry out business. I'm anticipating probably a few bylaws for sales of properties to allow us to get those transactions completed.
The last week of the month,
Yeah. No.
special council meeting.
Yeah.
So it could be Thursday or Friday, thinking,
Ideally Monday or
Friday's a start.
ideally Monday or Thursday. I believe, Dave, you were saying that Thursday was not gonna work for you,
It's not ideal,
not ideal?
unless we do it at like 7:30.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday's not ideal either, because that's candidates night for Schreiber. Or Tuesday, so it's,
Ours is Wednesday, Tuesday's Terrace.
pardon me?
Tuesday's Terrace, ours is
Correct.
the Wednesday.
Yeah. So probably the best one would be Monday.
Monday?
The 19th,
That's the
26th,
26th, or, right,
like at regular time, like 6:30 or 7.
All right, in terms of when you would be free, would be anytime after 3?
Oh, yeah, I think. But I think so on the Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you prefer
Yeah,
an
yeah.
earlier or later time? I mean, it's.
I mean, he's not gonna be, if it's early, he won't be able to come, right? Cause he works till 5 or 4:30 or whatever,
Okay,
Doug says. Doesn't, like, whatever you wanna do.
okay. We can say for now, we'd probably be looking at it on that date, and
Okay.
we'll send out an email just to confirm the time. Okay, but for today, I think we're all in favor that we can
Yeah.
cancel the meeting of the
27th.
No,
27th.
regular, yeah, regular time.
Okay.
Okay. Resolution 247-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the meeting now adjourn at 3:44 PM. All those in favor? Carried.